Hey, welcome to SommAllié. I'm Allie, and this is my living room. I am an actor and a self-proclaimed wino. I decided to explore the world of wine, and I invite you to join me so we can do it together. Last week, we did Chardonnay from California, the Central Coast. And this week, we are sticking with Chardonnay, only we are going back to the Mecca, back to the motherland, the birth of Chardonnay, Burgundy, France. Going back to the motherland, we are going to review Joseph Drouhin 2018 Mâcon Village. This is a very typical Chardonnay from Bourguignon. Like I said, Bourguignon is the birthplace of Chardonnay. It is where it all began. And this particular wine is a very typical Chardonnay, Mâcon Village. It's not your high end, because Chardonnays from Burgundy can range from $6-7 to $7,000, depending on who made it and where it was made. The three most expensive regions are Meursault, Puligny, Montrachet. I hope I said that right. I think I did. Puligny, Montrachet. And then the third is, I know I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to go for it. Shasha. No. And the third is Chassagne Montrachet. Or some people, English-speaking people, like American-speaking people, say Montrachet, but it's Montrachet if you say it the French way. Montrachet, the French way. Anyway, let's open this bottle and see what it tastes like. Burgundy is in the central east of France. So this particular wine is not aged in any oak, which in France you have some Chardonnays that are aged in oak, some are not. Generally, your Chablis are not aged in oak. Generally, a lot of Chardonnays aren't aged in oak. You can find a lot of Chardonnays from France that aren't aged in oak. If you don't like the taste of oak, then you should drink something like a Chablis or something like this, because it was not aged in oak at all. It's aged in stainless steel. So it should have, like we said before, it should have, citrus notes, but it won't have that bread or yeast, or, that it won't have the oaky vanilla, those type of characteristics, because it wasn't aged in any oak. But getting to the good stuff, let's pour it and see what it tastes like. Well, we discussed this before. It's not what it tastes like. I'm so ready to get to the taste. But first we have to see what it smells like, what we get on the nose. Give it a little swirl. And I like the new glass. You like the new glass? It's really pretty, right? Pretty, bling, bling. Okay. But anyway, that's a really pretty color. Give it a little swirly swirl. Right on the nose, I definitely smell limestone. It is the terrain of, well, I don't know if it's the terrain of all of Burgundy because I've never been. I would love to go there. Obviously now we can't because, people don't know how to act and we are stuck and the EU wants no part of us. But I digress. I would love to actually see Burgundy in person. But the Drouhin is limestone. And definitely you get limestone, you get pear. I get pear. I'm telling you what you get. Like I said before, it's relative. I can't tell you what you get. You're going to smell what you're going to smell. I'm going to smell what I'm going to smell. But what I'm smelling right now is like green apple, pear, limestone. Very crisp and clean. Yeah, this is yummy. It has nice acidity, a lot more acidity than the last Chardonnay I reviewed last week, because that was aged in a little oak and it was from a different part of the world. It was from Central Coast, California. This is from the birthplace of Chardonnay. So it's got some really nice acidity to it. My mouth is nice and juicy. Sorry, I just need to taste it again because, if you're going to give a proper review, you got to taste the wine. And that's just to get a little air in my mouth. It's the same as basically you swirling. That's getting air into the glass. And when you do that in your mouth, you're getting air in your mouth. And it brings out the flavors in the wine. Let's do it again, shall we? Do it with me. It's not going to be, like all of this stuff going on, all of these different flavors, but it has nice acidity. It's got some fruit, nice citrus, a little spice, but not crazy, like a white pepper spice. But it's very like drinkable on a hot summer day. You could just sit outside and, drink this and chill. What's great about it is you could actually have this with like, something creamy, like an Alfredo sauce or, something with cheese, because it is so light and acidic that it'll cut through all of that. It'll keep your mouth juicy and with all of the citrus flavors. Like maybe something that I'll make. Maybe I'll show it to you if you're lucky. If you're nice, if you're good boys and girls, babe, I'll show it to you. This would be perfect with broiled seafood or before the meal even starts, just as you're sitting, waiting, just hanging out. This would be a really good wine for that too. My favorite thing about this wine is that it's really drinkable. Like you literally can have this with food. You can have it just by itself. Like I could totally just be hanging out, watching TV, drinking this wine. It keeps your mouth really juicy. The acidity is fantastic. I really like acidity. So if you want to try a Chardonnay that's different, that's not like your typical California Chardonnay, it's not all oaky, I would, definitely go the French route and try wines from Burgundy because that's the motherland. Sometimes with oak or even with red wines as well, with tannins, your mouth can get really dry and you need something else before you take a sip, another sip of the wine. You need some food, you need some water, you need something. But this wine you can just drink. This wine could actually get you into some trouble. Because you could just drink. Like I'm doing. It really is. It's just like, it's almost like water. If I had to criticize this wine, I'm trying to find faults. And there really isn't any. Another great thing about this wine, as far as drinkability goes and you're just kind of hanging out and drinking the wine, is that it's not like crazy complex, so it's not going to change over time. Like literally, it tastes the same now as it tasted when I opened it. Pretty much. You know, it might be a little subtler on the nose. Everything is a little more pronounced now. Like I get more pepper, I get more citrus, you know, everything's a little more heightened. But all the flavors are the same. Nothing has changed. It's not like, oh my goodness, I taste, you know, now I taste this. And it's not. It's like a really nice, drinkable wine. You know what you're getting when you open it. You know what you're getting to the last drop. Good to the last drop. Yeah, it is good to the last drop. My favorite thing about wine is that it's a living, breathing thing that changes like people. Like this wine, not so much. This wine is like, you know, your grandpa that is the same. He's the same when you were born. He's the same when he dies. You know, like he lived his life and, you know. But this is yummy. Like your grandpa. Like he's fabulous. This wine is fabulous. Like your grandpa. Cheers, grandpa. You know what's great about this wine? Since it retails for about $15, what you can do is when you find a wine like this that's very drinkable, that you can have with food or without, just kind of sitting at home, chilling, doing, you know, work or whatever you're doing, having a glass of wine, what you should do is you should buy a case of this, because when you buy a case, they'll give you a discount on the price. So basically, you could be paying $13, $12, $11, depending on what the, you know, the discount is on this wine if you get a case. And like that's Trader Joe's prices right there. $10, $11 for a bottle of wine. You never have to go to Trader Joe's again. And you can enjoy delicious wine for a fraction of the cost if you just fireworks. Take 2. And you can enjoy a delicious wine at the fraction of the cost because you bought a case or 2 cases. I mean, you can't beat it. That's a good tip, y'all. You're welcome. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next Sunday on SommAllié. Cheers! Don't forget to leave some comments and let me know about any wines that you would like me to try. I'll definitely try it for you. Or if there's a recipe, like if you see something that I've shown and you want to know how I made it, let me know and I'll put that in the comments for you. Cheers!